You don't have to drink so much to tell me what you want, but you should move on, move on, move on.
My friend, how are you doing? And I got to ask you first, what part of the country are you in right now? Because I'd love to know how things are there, because as we speak, dealing with, COVID-19 and so many other crazy things that have gone on throughout 2020 and leading into 2021. How are you doing? Where are you? And how's your family holding up?
Wow. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Waking up a bit earlier, eating eggs. And then I'm in Los Angeles in California. And yeah, family's doing good. They're back home in Virginia, where I'm from. And yeah, they turned Dodger Stadium from a testing site into a vaccination site. So LA's kind of on its way up.
Well, it's good to hear, my friend, and good that you're doing okay too. And congratulations on the new music that we're getting from you, especially when we're going to talk about this new single that, of course, I would say is probably the right kind of song to have around Valentine's Day, because people go through love in so many different ways. But how does it feel, though, being as young as you are, but when you're hearing things about the next big thing, great singer, songwriter, just so many great accolades coming your way. How does that feel, knowing that a lot of people have the confidence in you to really help elevate the music industry?
To be honest, when I put out my first little project, They Barely Knew Me, my first EP, I really thought no one would care. So I've had very low expectations as far as how people would perceive it. I think what it comes down to is making sure that the music I make, I feel something for it and it feels very genuine, and making sure that I just write about what I know. I think if you focus on the music first, you can build everything around it, and then the rest will come.
Do you have a particular genre? Because I've heard so many different things: pop, alternative, folk. I've heard so many different things. What do you call your music?
That's the thing. It's hard for me to even, because I'd be like, I think my music is this way, and then I'd get a bunch of different responses as to how people would characterize it. I wouldn't really know what to call it. I explore some different spaces, but I do definitely have a bunch of different influences. So Sufjan Stevens was a big one. Who else did I really dig?
Ed Sheeran, I understand, is one of them.
Dude, Ed Sheeran, I was doing a bunch of covers when I was growing up, and so it was a great way for me to learn about the song structure, the chord shapes, the chord colors, and also the lyrical content of some of my favorite musicians. So I started doing a bunch of covers, started building up a little bit of a following, and then people tried to capitalize on it, and they tried to force songs down my throat that were just not good songs. And so I had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, and I didn't want to be I just want to be a genuine and true musician. And so my cousin showed me how to record myself on a laptop when I was 15, and kind of gave me the intro. And yeah, that's why I write music. That many other reasons, but I feel like that was most relevant to that question.
Just curious, have you ever had a chance to meet Ed Sheeran yet?
No, no, we're in different tax brackets. I don't think we're going to bump into the same people.
I got a feeling, my friend, somehow that's going to happen at some point. I've had the pleasure of interviewing him a few times, and he's a really, he's one of the most down-to-earth people that you'll ever meet.
Yeah, that was a big pull towards Ed Sheeran. Was very genuine, very authentic, and also he doesn't really put people down or cause beef. He seems very wholesome. But yeah, either I win the lottery or Ed Sheeran makes some bad investments, but hopefully we can meet.
Like I said, I think it'll definitely happen for you, my friend, because you are definitely genuine. You can tell through your music also. Let's talk about Virginia, growing up and and the love of music. Where did that all really begin for you?
I think I've always loved music. I think it started with the Wiggles. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Just so you know, I'm an honorary Wiggle. I'm the pink Wiggle.
You're an honorary Wiggle?
I'm because when they would come to Toronto, of course that's where I'm speaking from. I would always interview them, and then finally they made me an honorary Wiggle. They said, "What color do you want to be?" I said, "You know what? I'm going to take pink because I'm going to make pink a tough color." And they gave me, so I've got my shirt and everything else. It's in a little box. I'm an honorary Wiggle.
Yeah, man. And I think like 3 out of 4 of them were elementary school teachers, and then they wanted to like make music that was condescending towards children. So I did a little bit of research when I grew up a little bit. But yeah, I'm still fascinated. So it started there, and then my father would fall in love with an album like 3 months at a time. And so we had long car rides, and then I would listen to music in the morning. It was kind of like my coffee. I was like, all right, well, I got to fully up. Like, I got to get ready for school. But at least I get to, like, listen to a few of my favorite tunes while doing it. And then it became something of, like, having a sense of purpose or having a way, because I'm very non-confrontational, and I really bottle things up. It was a nice way to have a controlled environment to fully express emotions that are typically not favorable, I guess, or it's not like an emotion you would brag about. So I got to explore those, and I don't know, I had to like walk away with like a sense of closure or knowing a little bit more about myself. So yeah, and also nobody got hurt. It's not like you could write a song or like scrape up somebody's car, and I was like, well, I wouldn't scrape someone's car. So yeah, making music was a good thing.
How did you end up in LA then?
Well, like I said, my cousin introduced me to how to record myself, and then things kind of took off from there. I fell in love with it, and I sent some demos out to different people, and then someone liked it, kind of picked me up, and then introduced me to Ricky Reed. And then Ricky Reed and I got along. Ricky Reed is my producer crush, and he's based out of LA. And by the time I was 19, the day after I turned 19, I had signed to Ricky's label Nice Life and also to Warner, and I moved out to LA to pursue music full time under Ricky's guidance.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm 100 times older than you are. 19, I'm just going into college, and I stayed in town. What is it like for you to go from one place to another place, L.A., which I love L.A., but to be in one of the biggest songwriting cities in the world to really kickstart your career? What has that been like for you in a learning process and in a personal process as well?
You're a fantastic interviewer. This is a very thoughtful question. When I moved to LA, it sucked so hard. Just because like I didn't go to college. I graduated high school early, and I was in my parents' basement. And when I moved out here, I didn't really have a community. I had Nice Life's back. Nice Life had my back, and they gave me a place to stay until I got on my feet and could figure it out. But I didn't really have a community established at that time, so it was devastatingly lonely. And then also I had to kind of make my own schedule because we weren't really ready to roll out music or trying to sign to different people. So I just kind of had to create my own sense of purpose and my own schedule. And yeah, it's just like moving away from everything you know. So I know Virginia. I know all the places like the back of my hand. I know my friend groups. I know I could like build little forts or drive around and listen to music with them down back roads. But then I moved here, and I was like, this place is really scary. I've never lived in a place like this, hardly even visited a place like this. So yeah, it just was a lot of reflecting and writing. So yeah.
When you say writing, then because of the move and everything that you've experienced, did it change the way you wrote? Did it change up the songs and the stories that you wanted to tell through your songs?
I wrote Healthy Daisy Boy, and I wrote that song as a comfort to myself. I got really into Sufjan Stevens, and I loved his kind of stream of consciousness with songwriting, especially on a Carrie and Lowell. And so I kind of explored that. And I just got kind of reflective. I was like, wow, that feels like a capping point from my childhood to what I'm doing now. And so I just reflected fondly on my childhood and how it led me to where I am now and what to do at this point and how to take comfort in the things that I can't control or seemingly can't control. So yeah, it got away from like, heartache or love. It was more introspective.
What are some of the things that you also learned from your producer?
I think the biggest thing I learned from Ricky Reed was never lose like your sense of curiosity and wonder. So Ricky always is looking for new gear and new things to get his hands on for making music. I learned that, and there's something else. Oh, I think I learned like basic panning and how that could impact the track. But yeah, normally I write the songs fully myself, and then I get Ricky's input to mix master, and then also add anything that's missing or something that's beyond my skill level at the moment. So yeah, he's just been a really good guiding hand, and he talks to me about lyrics and makes sure that I'm solid in them. He's been a good guiding hand for sure.
Well, let's get to the new single. It's got 4 letters in it. What's the new single called, my friend, and what's it about?
Gotcha. It's called You Should Move On. And when I wrote the tune like a year or two ago, I think 2 years ago, I felt really heavily, like I crushed hard for somebody. And I was led on, and like she found somebody else, and then I felt very expendable and disposable. And then I felt like a lot of pop songs go to like the polar extremes of like, I love you, I hate you. And I just kind of wanted something that would be like, hey, I still really care about you. But how do you still care for somebody and wish them well, and still like kind of want to be there or know that they could call, while also setting boundaries and creating space respectively. So that was kind of a space that I didn't feel was kind of explored, and so I thought I'd explore those themes.
And if you're having visions about the two of us, just don't. Yeah, you should move on, move on, move on.
It's an amazing track. The thing is, though, you musically, like lyrically, amazing. Musically, also amazing, too. Can you talk about the background music also? Because this isn't like a traditional drum, guitar, piano, whatever. There are elements of sounds that I'm not sure what they are, but man, it is like a water flow when you listen to this song.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you asked. So I was working alone in my parents' basement. I had to beg people to work with me. And then I went to an open mic and I met my friend Grant. He was a post-grad. He was in his final year of college. And I would have been like a senior in high school that year. So I met him. We jammed a couple of times. And I got to know this community in Richmond, the Rosewood House. And they're all good friends of mine. And they love like math rock, post-punk. So they have like, and they're all depressed. So they're all like, they're good people to hang around, but like they all have like their own things going on. And so they have these very like emotive chords that I love. And so Grant came over, laid down the chords. I had like this idea in my head from the night before, and luckily the melody was able to be placed on top of that. And then I brought it to Ricky after trying a million things to try and finish this song because I thought the chorus was the verse. And I was like, I got to beat this verse. And so I tried a bunch of stuff, a lot of textures, and then sent it off to Ricky, and he made it more of a banger, like with a heavy bass and drums that kind of hit you in the face a little bit, but are also kind of under the current.
Was it tough to record during COVID because there were so many times where things were open, things weren't open? You could go here, you can't go there. Was it tough to do?
Yeah, with my homies in Rosewood, it was cooler to get tested and then see them because they all live in a house together, and I'm the outside factor. But with Ricky, it's been like an experiment where we send stems back and forth. We hop on a phone call, and we have to get like a lot of references together, or we have to put into words the things that we're hearing, or try and find samples that are closest to the thing we're trying to achieve. So that's how we've been operating for this project.
Sounds amazing, man. With this single, what's happening with an EP and album?
Yeah, right on. So I'm going to put out like a full-length project, and I'm going to divide it into 2 discs, so 6 songs in the first disc, and then release the second disc later. Just because like an EP kind of felt disposable, and I'd done that before, and I wanted to give people more substance, something to sink their teeth into. So the complete project is called Healthy Baby Boy. First project should come out by April, and I'll be releasing a tune about the end of February.
Okay. Now, depending, of course, what area of the world that you're from, we don't know yet about what's going on with live performances. I mean, people have been doing virtual performances. Some have been doing these drive-in performances. Some have actually done live performances. What is going to be going on with you, do you think, leading through the spring and summer of 2021?
Honestly, it's kind of too early to tell. Everyone's just starting to really get vaccinated. They first gave it to first responders, and now kind of like the general public. So I think it's too early to tell, but I would do live performances. I would do YouTube Live, and then I actually just recently got there's a thing called Mac Rock in Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is the college I would frequently go to play house shows. So they're doing their festival this year completely virtual, and so I'm going to be a part of that. They hit me up like 2 nights ago. So they're very DIY, like built by the students from the ground up kind of scene. And so, yeah, mainly virtual performances, and then I just perform for my housemates, so that's cool.
Okay. In the meantime, though, social media is the place to go to find out what's going on with you, whether it be performances, new music, whatever is happening. Where do we go to follow you?
On everything, I made it John Robert, John with an H, all together, because I would love for people to find me. And so Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and that's primarily where you'll catch me. Oh, and then also for TikTok, I go back on my philosophy. It's Swedish Fish Mafia 69.
Speaking of which, what is it with you and Swedish Fish? Can you explain that to me, please?
It's a whole soapbox, but to hit the key points, it has a nationality. The flavor is ambiguous. It's not really like cherry. It's just the flavor red, which I think is highly ambitious. Love their color scheme. And then for advertisement, they created a show called, what was it called? It was something like they made a show called Treading Water, where Swedish Fish is a full unit and is a character in it. So they kind of won me over with all those facts. Also, pairs well with fruit. So like cantaloupe, tahini, and honey and Swedish Fish. Great combo. So yeah, that's where that started.
Oh my God, my friend, you are hilarious. But hey, you know what? Love that story. Love your music. Love everything you're doing, man. I'm hoping, cross fingers, hopefully sometime in 2021 when things are more relaxed and we're all getting our shots and we can be around each other safely. Hopefully you be coming to Toronto, man, not just to perform, but maybe we could sit down and do a one-on-one chat.
That would be fabulous. You're a fantastic interviewer. You bring positivity into it, and it's been a genuinely fun conversation. Would love to sit down, and have always wanted to visit Canada.
Well, my friend, the door is open for you. Thank you for the compliment. Like I said, love your music, love your vibe. Please be safe. Take care. Cross fingers we can do a sit-down chat, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk soon. Be safe, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You'll never